Hello and welcome to Parents Guide to Games. Here are the games coming out the week of September 26, 2017. The first game in today's list is Blue Reflection. This is coming out on PlayStation 4 and PC. The rating is teen. The content descriptions are fantasy violence, mild language, partial nudity, and suggestive themes. This is a role-playing game in which players control a high school girl who gains new abilities as she travels through a fantasy world. Players interact with other students, accept missions, and engage in turn-based battles against various monsters. Characters use swords and magic staffs and objects to defeat enemies. Damage is indicated by grunts of pain and small explosions and light effects. The game contains some suggestive material, female students undergoing brief transformations that barely depict them partially nude, characters depicted showering in stalls, with their nipples and genitalia obscured, dialogue referring to characters' breast size or panties, swear words also appear in the dialogue. The next game on our list is Hob. This is coming out on PlayStation 4 and PC. Presented without text or dialogue, Hob's stories reveal as you explore the planet and interact with strange life forms to inhabit it. Transform the world by solving puzzles and repairing the planet. The landscape will change before your eyes, opening new areas to uncover and explore. Grapple, punch, and wrap throughout the world. Use your mechanical glove arm abilities for traversal, as well as combat. Adventure is an open world. Explore ruins, befriend spirits, and battle the rogue creatures that threaten their existence. Now let's take a look at Raid World War II. This is coming out on PC. The rating is mature. The content are blood and gore, strong language, and violence. This is a first-person shooter which players assume the role of soldiers for hire through covert military operations in Germany during World War II. Players use shotguns, rifles, and machine guns to kill enemy soldiers as they infiltrate enemy bases and strongholds. Blood is frequently depicted as characters are shot. Some attacks can result in dismemberment and/or decapitations. Firefights are frantic and accompanied by realistic gunfire, large explosions, and screams of pain. Swear words are also heard in the dialogue. Ruiner is up next. This is coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. The rating is mature. The content descriptions are violence, blood, and strong language. Ruiner is a brutal action shooter set in the year 2091 in a cyber metropolis Rhinoc. A wired psychopath lashes out against a corrupt system to uncover the truth and retrieve his kidnapped brother under the guidance of a secretive hacker friend. Combined premature reflexes, augmented tools, and the arsenal of fallen foes to tear down and dismantle the corporate titans of variety dealers at Heaven. Now we'll go deeper into Cuphead. This is coming on Xbox One and PC. The rating is everyone. The content descriptions are mild cartoon violence, alcohol, and tobacco references. Cuphead is a classic run-and-gun action game heavily focused on boss battles. Inspired by cartoons of the 1930s, the visuals and audio are painstakingly created with the same techniques as the era. Traditional hand-drawn cell animation, watercolor backgrounds, and original jazz recordings. Play as Cuphead or Mugman as you traverse strange world, acquire new weapons, and learn powerful super moves. And discover hidden secrets while you try and pay your debt back to the devil. Now let's score some goals with FIFA 18. This is coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC. The rating is everyone. This is a soccer simulation game which players engage in realistic matches with teams across the international leagues. Players can practice penalty kicks, assign on-field strategies, and participate in a variety of game modes, seasons, tournaments, and Ultimate Team to improve their soccer skills. Now let's get into battle with Gundam Versus. This is coming out on PlayStation 4. The rating is teen. The content descriptions are fantasy violence. This is a fighting game which players control large robot-like mobile suits that engage in combat across arena-like battlefields. From a third-person perspective, players use swords, guns, and energy blasts in melee and ranged attacks against enemies. Battles can be frantic and highlighted by gunfire and frequent explosions. Game modes allow players to engage in waves of enemies, one-on-one fights, or in team battle. Now let's dive deep into Total War Warhammer 2. This is coming on PC. The rating is teen. The content descriptions are alcoholic references, blood, mild language, suggestive themes, and violence. This is a real-time strategy game based on the Warhammer universe, in which players fight for supremacy in a fantasy world. Players follow storylines while commanding races and factions engaging in diplomacy. From a top-down perspective, players arrange enemies and fantasy creatures on the battlefield, giving commands and observing combat. Battles are highlighted by cries of pain, impact sounds, and depiction of bodies scattered on the battlefield. Cutscenes depict characters stalked and stabbed by assassins, with splashes of pink blood on the screen. Some creatures are depicted with bodily wounds during gameplay. The dialogue occasionally references suggestive material. Dialogue also references wine, ale, and grog, and binge drinking. One cutscene also depicts poisoned wine splashing from a goblet. Swear words also appear in the dialogue. The last game on today's list is Forza Motorsport 7. This is coming on Xbox One and PC. The rating is everyone. This is a racing game which players can drive a variety of realistic cars around international tracks. Players can progress through various game modes that include career, free play, and test drive. Thank you to bensound.com for the music track. You can also follow Parents Guide to Games on Twitter at ParentsG2G, on Facebook at Parents Guide to Games. You can check out our daily blog at parentsg2g.blogspot.com, and also email us with questions and concerns at parentsg2g@gmail.com. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.